Supreme Court parental rights case, Makmood v. Taylor. Who wants to set this one up? What's going on? Anybody want to take it, or I'll pass to Anna, unless... So you want to jump on
essentially, my understanding is there is a cohort of different religious families. We're talking Muslims, Jewish people, Christian families who want to see an opt-out option available for a range of books that have been introduced for pre-K and elementary school children. Now, initially, when this push came out, that was a part of a whole, inclusivity push back in 2022. They said they were going to release these books and distribute them to the children. However, they would make parents aware, and there would also be an option to opt out. By 2023, that was rescinded, and this is why the parents are now taking it to the courts, because essentially what the schools initially promised them was retracted. And for these parents, they want to be the ones to decide when they have these sensitive conversations with their kids, not the school.
Yeah.
And my perspective is there is nothing wrong with that. I think we should be.
Amen.
We should be dealing with these things within our families.
Yeah.
And
these are the books about two-parent households, right? They're not graphic. They're just books where there's a mommy and a daddy and a daddy. But see, here's the deal. And I know we've covered this and we've beaten it to death, but simply stated is this. If you're going to put your kid in a public school, you must have discussions with them about the reality of gender in America before you put them in the public school. Okay? Like, for example, you ready? I'm going to give you an example. Before you take your kid to a public school, you got to be able to tell your kid, hey, don't touch Timmy's underwear. Don't put your hand under Susie's dress. Okay? Why? Because in order for you to become part of a group and have mutual respect of your students, your fellow students, you need to know to keep your hands off other people's bodies. That is an education parents must give to their kids before they put them in a socialized setting. Now, the reality is kids at that school will have two mommies. Kids at that school will have two daddies. Okay? So before you put your kids in a public school where there's gay teachers and gay students and gay parents and gay families, those students in the various earliest age need to be aware of what a two-mommy household is and how it's no different than a two-daddy household or a mommy and daddy household or two mommies and a daddy or however the they spin it. But the idea, though, that some people want to say that two mommy households and two daddy households are immoral and dirty and bad, and so therefore they want to exempt their kids from learning that they're not that because they want to condition their kids to agree with them that it's dirty and immoral and bad. If you want to raise your kids like that, where you want to condition them, that weird morality shit, your option is to put them in a private school or homeschool them or fuck off. That is it. Those are your three options. You homeschool, you private school, you fuck off. End of story. It's like you don't get to exempt them from learning about two mommies and two daddies the same way that you don't get to exempt them from learning about Martin Luther King, or you don't get to remove them from every lesson that has a female leader because you don't like women. It's like, I don't care. Your religion does not get any more say over your decisions than your personal feelings. Okay, but this idea that somebody can be like, I don't like women, so therefore any lesson with a woman, my kid has to leave the room. No, you can't do that. And I don't care if your religion says you can't be gay, not our fucking problem. Don't be gay. But that doesn't mean that we're going to create a situation where when the book about the two mommies comes up, your kids leave the room. Why are they leaving? Because two mommies is immoral and bad and dirty and horrible. So all the kids with two mommies in the classroom have now been told that they're, second rate, that they're shitty because the kids who believe it's immoral have been shuttered off to go fucking whatever, go have cotton balls shoved up their ass. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, you don't do that. If you can't have conversations about that shit with your kid, then you gotta homeschool them. Not our fucking problem. Okay, not our fucking problem.
And not deferring to the school system to take care of it. So, I mean, I'm in full support of these families who are seeking recourse for this and who want to maintain the rights over what their children learn.
But again, if you want to maintain the rights over what your children learn, then don't put them in public school. If you put them in public schools, they get an education that covers and includes everyone, okay? And they have to learn about the existence of two mommies and two daddies because their classmates are going to have that. And they have to learn that it's okay because it is okay, right? It's just,
I mean, for me, there's nothing wrong with that.
So there's a few other details to this that I think are super relevant because what we're talking about here are not high school students. We're talking about elementary school students. And what I thought was really fascinating about how this school district approached this issue is, you know, given the nature of these books and how it brings up things like same-sex couples, you would typically find this type of curriculum in the context of health, right? Like health curriculum.
dude, why would it be health curriculum about same-sex couples? Like every kid in that room has a mom and a dad, or they have adult caregivers, right? They have a grandma and a grandpa, and nobody's like, oh my God, if we have a lesson that teaches them that there's a grandma and a grandpa, or a man and a woman that are married, oh shit, it's gonna up the kids. No, they don't do that. Nobody cares if the book has a mommy and a daddy in the book. They're not worried that the kids finding out that a mommy and a daddy are together is going to fuck up the kids. But these mental fucking religious weirdos, when it's a mommy and a mommy or a daddy and a daddy, all they can think about is gay fucking sex. So now if it's a daddy and a daddy, they're like in their, you know, incognito internet browser watching some muscle dudes just fucking the shit out of each other. They can't see anything but that when they see daddy and daddy. And they're probably tugging to it too and feeling all ashamed of themselves. So then it's like a daddy and a daddy is now this big dangerous thing. But dude, no kids in elementary school, they don't even know what fucking sex is, bro. And being gay and being a daddy and a daddy is not about sex, okay? It's not about sex. There are gay people who probably don't like sex and never have it. I'm sure there's plenty of them, right? It's like gay or your sexual orientation has nothing to do with, it's about attraction, right? The gay kid, you know, at 6 years old is not going to be thinking about sex. A gay boy at age 6 isn't thinking about the YMCA guys boning down. All he's thinking about is when he's on the playground and everyone's like, oh, you got a crush on Susie? And he's like, no, actually, it's my friend Chad gives me that weird feeling. Like, why is everyone saying I should like Susie? I don't like Susie. I like Chad, right? That's how it presents to young people. It's not about anything sexual. It has nothing to do with sex. You know what I mean?
But the school district decided to put it under the context of literature and English. And so I wonder if they did that intentionally to prevent the opportunity of students to, parents to opt out. Because if it's in the context of health and let's say sex ed, that's when you have an opt-out option typically when it comes to some of the more controversial issues that religion.
But again, this isn't controversial. If the existence of mommies and daddies are controversial for you, like, dude, you need to fucking GTFO. Right? This ain't controversial. You know what I'm saying? Like, my God, dude, if you can't raise your kids to coexist with gay people, then move to Uganda or some shit. You can go hang out in Iran where they have those real strict laws, right? Like, what are they fucking doing?
Just parents have problems with. Now, in this case, elementary school, we're talking about 4th graders and 5th graders, super young, like 8, 9, 10-year-old.
Absolutely. That is the time that they should be like, that's the time you want them to know that it's just all right and safe.
You're talking about same-sex couples. Yeah, I agree. I think that especially religious parents want the opportunity to opt out so they can broach these topics with their kids themselves.
Yeah, but no, that's bullshit. Here's what it's about, guys. Watch. Follow this. Okay? The religious people want to teach their kids that being gay is bad and dirty and wrong. That's what they want to teach. So if they're able to opt them out at school, now they have proof. Obviously, we're right. And obviously, it is bad and dirty and wrong because the school let us protect you from it, right? So that's part of the reason why they want to opt out, is because it gives confirmation to their crazy fucking beliefs, okay? If they try to opt out and the school says, no, you're not opting out, and they lose that battle, the kids are going to be, well, I guess it's not really that bad, right? Right? But if you get to opt out, now the school has confirmed that, yes, we're allowing you to protect your kids from this lesson, right? So the schools are then confirming, and they're helping the parents. Like, the parents want help in being able to drill this shit into their kids. And simultaneously, they're now also messaging to all the other kids, right? But it's fucking bullshit. Homeschool or, right? Homeschool or private school or go yourself. Those are the choices.
And they're not trying to ban these books. That's a really important distinction here. They're saying, you know what? Keep teaching, using these books. That's fine. We just want the option to opt out. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. The fact that the school district wants to prevent that, I think, is super problematic, to be honest.
So I agree with you completely on that. I want to go back to the days where we're just reading like Clifford the Red Dog or whatever. We leave it to the parents. And I'm speaking as a Christian myself. Like, I would feel, if I had kids today, I would feel deeply uncomfortable if my kids were indoctrinated and had no choice of stepping out. And you can't.
Indoctrinated? Like, isn't it weird how, like, learning that 2 daddies and 2 mommies is okay is indoctrination, but being force-fed that it's dirty and immoral and you're going to burn in hell is not indoctrination? Like, I mean, come on, bro. You know, 9-iron? Dude, we need to fucking 9-iron these fucking idiots, bro. Jesus Christ.
We're going off the rails a little bit here in regard to like the actual case, because the case is specifically pertaining to individuals who have a sincerely held religious belief, right? So you can be as offended by the curriculum as you want. There's no constitutional protection against being offended. However, when it comes to these public schools, they do need to make accommodations for religious families who have sincerely held religious beliefs. And so that's...
See, no. This is where I disagree, okay? Seriously. This is where I disagree, guys, because my question is this, is why do we have to make exceptions for people with sincerely held religious beliefs? Why does somebody having a religious belief give them this special exemplary power that we must now all bend to their religious belief, especially when you can't even prove that shit, right? It's like, if you can't bring Jesus or God down here to talk to me, why am I giving you special fucking, there's 4,000 goddamn religions on this planet. And so we're supposed to give 4,000 fucking exemptions because you guys are believing a book? Dude, I liked, you know what I'm saying? I fucking like Dean Koontz books. That doesn't mean I get a special Dean Koontz exemption. It's like, fucking, hey, bro, this shit is bullshit. But yeah, I'm fundamentally opposed to this idea that if people pick a religion, they get these special privileges. Like, I don't think they should, man. I think your religion applies to you, and you should have to fit your religion into our society, and we shouldn't have to reshape our society for the sake of your religions, right? Like, why does religion get this special exemption? That's bullshit. It doesn't deserve it. It's not like, there's not even, you know what I mean? There's not even empirical evidence that these fucking religions exist. What is up, guys? Thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, you want to support independent resistance media, you know what to do. Drop that sub, hit the like button, and please share it. And we do love our members, so if you want to become a member, it's another really great way to support. Thanks again for everything, guys. I'll see you next time. Let's go.